and welcome to another episode of your favorite VHS review show. This is episode 3 of season 2 of Moving Picture Massacre. I am Tom, and I'm here with Matt and Ricky as always, and today we watched a movie, if you want to call it that. And I don't know if you've seen it. It's actually a sequel, and we didn't watch the first one either. I don't think we needed to, and we definitely won't. Maybe it'll be better. Right? Aren't sequels normally the worst ones? I don't know. Anyways, Matt found this movie. I'm not sure where you found it, Matt. Tell us a little bit about it, where you found it, and we'll dive right into this thing.
I actually found it in the trash. No, I didn't. I bought it at a thrift store, and honestly, it's just a cover buy. So it's called The Fear, and online, I think it says The Fear Resurrection. This one just says The Fear Halloween Night. Not to be mistaken, The Fear, which is arguably, well, not arguably, but probably a better movie. I mean, it's got Wes Craven in it at least, and I would assume he would probably want to be in the better one. But this movie, yeah, like Tom said, it's a sequel or it's a predecessor. You don't really have to see the first one apparently to watch this. We didn't, I don't think, miss out on anything really. But anyways, came out in 1999. You're in for about an hour and 40 minutes on this. And the back about the story, it says, "Scream louder, it won't stop." And it says, "A Halloween party in the country turns into a horrifying blood fest when the teenage guests are murdered one by one. A ritual ceremony summons the spirit of Morty, who fulfills his destiny to prey on your worst fears and to kill again. The horrifying screams of Morty's victims haunt the isolated cabin walls, but never make it beyond the dark and forbidding thickness of the surrounding forest." So it sounds a lot better than it is. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. Um, that would be enough to catch your attention. You'll find out real quick into this movie that it's bad. This movie's really, really bad. I did write down a few things I like though when we get to it. But does anyone else have anything to say to open up, Ricky?
Just to kind of give everybody an idea on the character of Morty, for those who have not seen the movie, which I'm assuming is going to be a vast majority of you. Uh, Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go back and do what we were doing in season 1, and I'm going to start doing it now again. Let y'all know, these movies are old. These are not spoiler-free reviews. If you want to watch it, stop now, go back and watch it, come back and see us. Get that out of the way. But basically, to put the character of Morty in a nutshell, take old Woodenhead from Creepshow 2, make him quip like Freddy Krueger, make him be able to teleport, and also make him a shapeshifter. And that's Morty. Just to give you an idea on what the character of Morty is. Tom, I'm going to pass it to you and let you throw anything in there that you want before we tear into this thing.
Yeah, it was something. I don't know why you would ever name anything that's supposed to be menacing Morty. I'm trying to find out the idea behind that, and I really don't know what it is at all. I was really hoping he wouldn't speak at all. And then when he started knocking off random things, God, what was someone asked him something or yelled at him or something, and he was like, "Yes, dear, but you're not." And then like punched him. I was like, "Wait, you what? Why are you talking at all? Especially in little quips, like you're, Chucky or like what is happening?" Oh God, yeah. So, real quick, this movie starts out. Mother and her son are driving down the road. They hear something. Mom gets out, walks over into the forest, sees a guy beating a lady. Does he hit her with something besides his own hand? Did I miss it? It was an axe, right?
It's an axe, yeah.
You never see any penetration of the axe, right? It's just a off kind of screen thing.
Yep.
That's what I thought. Anyways, sees a guy hitting a lady with an axe. Mom runs, gets freaked out. The person chases after her, kills her, and then steals the kid. Takes the kid, puts him in the trunk of his car. Kid turns around. Well, I guess you roll over. You can't really turn around in a trunk. And there's Morty. There's a big wooden person in the back of this trunk. You don't find out that's the name of Morty until a little bit later, and the movie goes on. You come to find out that they were married, and I don't understand that process at all.
Yeah.
Where was she going that he was in the forest chopping a girl up? Was it outside their house? Why? None of that seemed to be explained to me. And I'm glad you guys don't know either, and I just didn't miss something because I didn't pay attention after a little while, I guess. Kid gets older, things happen. Like you said, everything on the back of the movie is pretty much exactly what happens, to a cooler sounding extent than the actual movie itself. To talk about things that I enjoyed about this movie would be a feat. Because I don't know what they are. I honestly was trying to think of some things, and most of the kills, like the big gruesome kills and stuff, were off screen, happened when you weren't looking. So much of this movie was awkward and bad. It really was. The acting was not great in general. The storyline was not great. The wooden guy, Morty, was 100% a dude the entire time. Every time he was on screen, I just stared at his eyeballs. I'm like, blink, motherfucker. I'm like, Twitch, do something. I was like, I'm going to find the flaw in this stupid costume you're wearing, He never did. So good on that actor for pulling that off. So Ricky, I'm going to let you just start it off and get in there. Let him know what you think about this movie.
So yeah, it was very poorly acted. The only little hint they give you at the beginning during the axe murdering rampage in the intro, that it is a familiar character, is when he picks up the boy, he calls him by his name. He's like, "Come on, Michael, let's go." And I was like, at first I didn't know what was going on because that's just how the movie opens. So I was like, this random axe murderer knows this kid somehow, but apparently it was his father, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, Morty definitely was a man in a rubber suit. You can tell it's rubber 100%. And one of the notes that Matt read on the back of the slipcase said, no matter how much you scream, you can't stop it. Wrong. Yes, you can stop it. All you do is put the necklace with the raven's wing on him and he's done. But never got that opportunity, so I guess they couldn't stop him, quote unquote. Bullshit. Matt, let's let you talk about your choice of movie for a minute before we just destroy this whole thing.
Oh man, so I did try and write down some stuff I liked and then stuff I disliked. But yeah, the like Tom said, the beginning of the movie, I had to watch it twice. So when he says, "Come on, Michael," I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" And it turns out like it took me a minute to get that they were married, and they do not tell you that at all. I mean, it's kind of just a hard opening. Kills his wife, kidnaps his kid, and throws him in the trunk with a wooden totem, I guess is what they're saying. And another thing that weirds me out about this too is it's a totem. It's Native American, right? Wasn't the guy in it Bones or whatever? He was Native
Crow.
American. What was it?
Crow.
Crow. That was it. Crow. Who, like, what Native American tribe names their totem Morty?
And sculpts them to look like the whitest dude in the world.
Yes. Now, Tom, you brought up that you were waiting for him to blink. There are a couple occasions that he does, because I was like, when they're talking about his arm being broke and they're sitting there, that's when I was watching. I was like, that's a person in there, and his eyes will slightly move sometimes, so you can see it, and it's not very often. So the guy does a good job. You can also see him rocking back and forth in the picture too, like he can't sit still. But I was kind of curious throughout the movie if he was going to say anything. I kind of wish that he didn't, like you said, but some of his lines did crack me up. I know he throws a guy out a window, and right before he's like going down, and he just launches him right out the window. I got a kick out of that. I like the bloody tombstone effect that they had at one point when Morty was like sitting on the porch in the rocking chair. I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. It's kind of easy for stuff like that to be at the top of my list on things I liked in such a bad movie, though. The toilet kill, I don't know why. Got a kick out of that. I like that enough. And then probably one of my favorite things of the entire movie is when he handcuffs the guy to the Wagoneer or whatever, and he pours like there's gasoline pouring out, and you're like, oh, he's gonna light him on fire. And then he hits the axe on the ground and starts the fire. I don't know why I laughed at that. I was like, that was so stupid. But then he hands it to him and he's like, you got to make a choice. And he runs off, like, cut your arm off or die. And then obviously they lead to the one thing you should do, which is just cut the chain on the handcuffs. But
So
yeah,
what was his fear? Was it fire? Because he
he
tried
couldn't make choices.
Making
Okay.
this.
Yeah, Morty's fear was fire apparently, but he had no issue lighting one. But yeah, his was like making choices in life or decisions. So everything was a question mark. I don't know. It's such a bad movie. I mean, I'm like you. I don't even know what to say. Like even sitting here, I'm just like everything I mentioned that I liked. I honestly think I hate deep down inside. If that
So,
makes
yeah,
any sense.
it totally does. And as we were saying with those kills, what Morty's doing is killing you in what your fear is, and hence the title of the movie. And with the whole Halloween thing, I guess they added that because this was done during Halloween time.
Yeah.
It
20-year
nothing-
anniversary.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I didn't like that. But the part that I thought was funny with the kid that was afraid of water, I didn't catch that he said he was afraid of water until after he threw him into the water, into the pool. So he's dressed like a shark, and then Morty pulls him out of a car and throws him into a pool. And I was like, "Ha! He threw the shark in the pool," and then realized, oh, it was because he was afraid of water. And I was like, "Oh, I feel like an idiot. This movie outsmarted me." And I
He
was,
hooked him to a grill.
yeah,
And then threw him in. That was funny to me too.
He does mention that fear earlier in the movie, though.
See, that's no problem. Apparently, they went straight here. I don't know if it was me doing something else or what.
Yeah, because when Mam's Grandma Betsy Palmer's character, she's cooking in the kitchen, and they all start coming out in their costumes. He comes in dressed as a shark, and they're like, "A shark, huh?" He's like, "Ever since I've seen Jaws, never been in the water since."
I 100% remember that too. I completely do. And for some reason, still, when he threw him in the water, all I could think about was like, he threw the shark in the water. That's funny. And it's like, no, it's not funny. He's scared of the water. Stupid.
Yeah. Now another thing that this movie is it really, I don't think it knew what it was really wanting to do. Like you start off with, it's a slasher with the father. They apparently they nickname him the Highwayman. All right, that's kind of cool, and then it turns into a, well, who's killing these people type movie, because like you said, it's got Betsy Palmer in it, and they kind of lead you on where she's kind of, Miss Voorhees in this too. Is she doing it? Grandpa's gone. Is he doing it? Well, who's killing these people? Is Morty actually doing it? And then it turns into this like supernatural monster type movie with a wooden tree man, and it turns out he's actually doing it. And another part that made me, the mask that he puts, the guy puts on Michael is I mean, there was so many different things this movie did and options they could have had when really they should have just had one.
Right. And that's a question I have for you guys on your thought process with the wooden mask that Michael has. He's supposed to, Crow gives it to him to wear when he confronts Morty, because he's supposed to see through his eyes, breathe through his nose, be that kind of thing so you can get past your fears of his father. Whenever all these kills first start happening in the movie, it's when Michael has this weird moment and passes out, which is something I thoroughly did not enjoy, when the screen does that weird bendy thing. I hate that so much. You could never put that in another movie, and I will thank you forever. I hate that shit. I don't know why I hate it so much. So you think, like, is he passing out and is Morty taking over his body and having him kill these people? Or is Morty coming to life and killing these people while he is passed out? And I still don't know which one it is. So what do you guys think?
They explained it at the end.
I apparently didn't pay a damn lick of attention in this movie because I didn't get any of that.
Yeah.
So when Michael unlocks the cabinet that his grandfather was locked in, his grandfather's like, yes, Morty was doing all of this. I saw when Crow was killed in the barn, Morty dragged you into the barn to make it look like you did it. So Morty was doing all this stuff and then setting up to make it look like Michael did it all.
I do remember that, and the funny part about that, which reminds me now, is Betsy Palmer's character, his grandmother, was like, "Oh, I hid the body. I didn't put it here. I did it for you, just like I did for your dad." And I'm like, "This chick is crazy." I'm like, "Does the grandpa know that she was hiding her son's victims his whole life, or like where did that tie in?" And they all left with grandma at the end, like everything was fucking peachy keen. But she's down with hiding dead dudes, which is not okay. So no one ever addressed that crazy old lady. I don't know about that one, but I do remember that. So you're right there. I still don't. Maybe it's what they just a red flag or a red herring, I guess they would say, by him passing out and everything happening. So we kind of assume it might be him, that kind of thing. But okay. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. The barn scene cracks me up too, now knowing like the end of the movie, how Morty would transform. It really wasn't a horse that kicked Crow in the face. It was Morty as a horse, I guess, or something, which kind of makes me laugh that dude transformed into a horse, which is kind of funny. But at the end of the movie too, you get one of the most ridiculous things when they're trying to drive out, and he transforms just into a big tree, just long enough to stop the car. And I lost, I guess, part of the moment in there because the blonde lady, the one, I don't even know what her name was in the movie. Did she get out of the car before it blew up? Because if I remember, she was in the car. I think in the front passenger seat. They crashed. You never see her again. I think maybe she just burned to death. So yeah, I mean, they did stuff in this movie that it was just really easy to, like you were saying, Tom. You're like, I did watch that, but I forgot about it. It was just bad. They didn't do stuff that would make you remember certain scenes of the movie. They confused you with the entire story, and then on top of it, it was boring. So there's not really a lot of good stuff to say about it. What were some of the things you guys really just disliked about this, Ricky?
Well, to add to a couple of things that you brought up in your little rant there, when you said it was kind of like a whodunit thing, most of the movie in my head, I was like, this is like playing a game of Clue. Like, such and such did it in this room with this weapon. I felt like I was watching somebody play a game of Clue. So I'm with you on that. Another thing I wanted to bring up that you mentioned was the bloody tombstone. So I don't know about you guys, but anytime I go out to a cemetery, beat the hell out of a tombstone and it starts bleeding and just showing how manic and mentally ill I really am, my girlfriend's first response is she always wants to bang right after that.
100% correct. That's every lady, as far as I know.
Yeah, not one word was said, but after he showed, hey, I am manic, I am mentally ill, I am beating the hell out of this tombstone, let's fuck. That was her first response. Yep, let's do it. Let's get it on. That was really weird to me. But I don't have a girlfriend and I don't beat the hell out of tombstones, so Who am I to say anything?
Maybe this is why, Ricky. You need to meet ladies and take them to the cemetery and just beat random tombstones.
Apparently, I need to go out there alone and just beat the hell out of tombstones because that's what women are into, man. You're going to get banged if you're beating the hell out of tombstones with a stick.
With a big stick.
Oh, God. Well, all right. Well, what else did I want to throw out there that I just really hated? Man, there's just...
The sound in this movie was terrible.
It's bad. It's bad. I think this might take Psychomania's spot. This is real bad.
Yeah. Think of the same thing.
Oh, gosh. Tom, I'm going to let you rant for a minute while I think on some more stuff because I know there's more I can bring up. But Tom, I'm going to let you have it for a second.
I'm sure there is. Like I was saying, the sound bothered me. I don't know if it was because of the way I was watching it or what, but there were so many times, even when people were just walking through the house, the footstep sounds, the whatever it's not ASMR, but the recording that they do after the movie's over, it just didn't sound right. It didn't sound like some of them were in the same room when they did it. I hated it. The amount of jump scare sounds bothered the hell out of me because it was a bunch of times where there was nothing going on. There was no lead up to make that jump scare scary. It was pointless. They were all pointless. The jokes that they played on each other weren't funny. They didn't progress anything. They were all, I don't know, man. It was written poorly. It was acted poorly. There was nothing about it that I was excited about at all. What did I have written down? Morty turning into a tree. Stupid. Throwing the shark in the water. Terrible jump scenes. Crow getting kicked by a horse. It looked like someone just like put blood on a fist and just like punched him real quick. They're like, if we do it fast enough, it'll just look like a horse hoof. I'm like, no, it won't. You're not gonna get me there. Sorry. I also had that awkward sex scene written down because that was ridiculous. There was no point in that. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I honestly don't.
One of the things I dislike too, to go a little bit further with throwing the guy at Shark Boy into the pool. I think his name was like Ned. You're like, oh yeah, he died. He drowned. And then, like, for some reason, of all the people in this movie, all of them, they get out of the car, they kill Morty, and they're like, where's Ned? The pool. And they run over there, and he's just swimming around with this grill as a shark. He's like, oh, hey, guys. He threw me in the pool with the grill. Yeah, like, clearly he's the comic relief of the movie, but he's real awkward, and nothing he does is funny, like, when he's, like, listening to them do it. And he's like, sounds like they're having a good time. It's like, dude, this guy is weird.
That was
so
super
weird.
creepy.
Yeah. So that's just one of the things I just disliked was that entire character. But yeah, the whole pool scene, stupid. And that's in a long list of really stupid things. So, like you said, this might take Psychomania's spot for me too. At least I enjoyed that movie enough to laugh at it. Like this movie was like excruciatingly painful to just finish.
Right. Yeah, I think you've got me on that one too, for exactly that reason. Psychomania was stupid. There were things that never ended up anywhere, plot holes and things like that were really dumb. But now when I look back at it, a lot of those things were stupidly funny, even though they weren't supposed to be, compared to this movie that, tried to be something and is just bad.
Yeah, it's the ultimate bad. And like you can, I don't know what channel it is. Someone was telling me about it, but they have like a podcast about movies where you can rate a movie from 1 to 10 positively or down to -10. In 1 being, oh wow, this is so bad it's funny, to wow, this is like a really good movie. This is like right in the middle of the 0 on that scale. Like it suffers from the problem that it's not good, but it's not good bad, if that makes any sense. It's just ultimately bad. So, yeah.
On that note, if you don't have anything else to add, Ricky, why don't you take it away with this lovely rating system that we have?
All right, well, it's going to take Psychomania's spot because I don't have any redeeming qualities whatsoever about this movie. Unless you've already seen it, just avoid this movie. It's not even worth it for comedic purposes. 0.5. Matt, where are you going?
I'm actually the same. Like it's weird how we do this every time where we rate something. We're like, oh yeah, it's usually pretty close. This whole time I've been going, I'm rating this a 0.5. This movie sucked. Like I can't give it just a 0. Like I have to rate it something, and 0.5 is like the best I can do for this movie. So yeah, like you said, there's no redeeming qualities. Everything about this sucks. I think Sci-Fi would be embarrassed to play this movie on cable TV. This obviously had to go straight to VHS, and that's as far as it's gotten. There's no releases that I know of. No one's even streaming this movie. You can watch it for free on YouTube because it sucks so bad. And I think you struggled to find a free version on YouTube because no one wants to post it.
It took us a hot minute to be able to watch this outside of your actual VHS release.
I wish I knew how much I paid for this because I'm even embarrassed that I bought it at this point. Because, like I said, this is just the ultimate bad, and I'm never going to pick it up and watch it again. Because there's nothing good about it. It's not funny. It's not good. It's just bad.
Yeah, it's not even like drink beers with your friends watch, because it's not bad enough to laugh at. It's just not good. You just, yeah.
Like if I collect VHS tapes, if I seen this in the trash and I was like, man, I don't have that, I would throw it back in the trash after I watched it. That person's trash. I would go there next week and take it back. It's just so bad.
Oh, that's amazing. I kind of want to watch the first one because this one is so bad that it makes me wonder how a second one was even made if the first one was anywhere near this bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's what we'll do for this season's season finale. We'll go back and watch the first one and see how it is because that's not on our list, our little wheel. So we'll do that for the season finale. We'll go back and watch the original, The Fear, and we'll rate that one.
There we go. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
We should find like a Discord server or something and watch it together. And we can invite whoever and make it like an open one and see if anyone wants to watch it with us.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I got Discord. I could do that probably.
There you go. All right. Well, I'm gonna give it a 0.5 as well. I thought about giving it a 1, and then I just don't think I can. Because again, thinking back and trying to think of stuff that I actually gave a shit about, and there wasn't really anything I could actually be like, that was neat, or that was cool, or that looked good, or there literally wasn't a damn thing at all. Betsy Palmer was in the movie. She gets my 0.5.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Just because I knew who that was. I seen her and was like, oh, that's Pamela Voorhees.
Even the intro took too long. It was black with red credits that was like 5 fucking minutes long. Yeah. Like it started out that way, and I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not a good time. And realistically, the first like 4 or 5 Friday the 13th are very similar. Black screen, white writing, and music. That's it.
But the score is interesting. The score to this one was not interesting.
No, it was not.
Like Henry Manfredini, he's got it down. This dude does not.
No.
Whoever it was.
This was directed by Chris Angel too, to make it even worse, and it's not even the good one that people know.
Yeah, I was like, when you first told me, I was like, oh, we're gonna watch a movie by Mind Freak? That's fucking neat.
No. It's like nerdy Chris Angel when you look up a picture of him. He, like the guy at Six Flags that's got the white New Balance, the ankle high socks, and a fanny pack on. That's the guy who directed this. That's the Chris Angel.
I thought, yeah, if it was the Mind Freak dude, maybe it would be so ridiculous, like a Veronica, like a Glenn Danzig movie, it would just be like so awful because it's not someone who knows how to make a movie. And no, it wasn't. It was someone that knows how to make a movie, just not a good one. So, all right. Now that we have the 1.5 in total rating of this movie between the three of us, I'm going to go ahead and spin our fun little wheel to see which movie we are going to watch next. Look at it go. It's going real fast. And we are going to watch, I'm going to show you. Can you see? The Keep.
Well, it definitely looks better than The Fear.
The Fear. The Keep, I have heard many things about. It actually was shown in a theater down I don't know, a couple hours from me, but last year, and I tried to go and wasn't able to. So I've been holding off watching this movie, so I'm excited to actually watch it. Quentin Tarantino's VHS podcast that he runs right now with his old coworker actually talked about this movie. It was one that they did almost a whole episode on. So again, I avoided that episode and I want to go back to it after we watch this. But yeah, we're going to watch The Keep for episode 4 of our lovely show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and listening to us talk about a movie you should never watch. If you're really drunk one day and you want to just waste some time, you can. But I would suggest not to. We appreciate you very much for sticking around. If you can like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, that would be super cool. And we will see you guys on episode 4 of Moving Picture Massacre. Have a good one.